Now that you have a basic understanding of how to create a 3D product in Autodesk Inventor, I'm going to start off by creating this example right here. So let's go ahead and open up Autodesk Inventor. So once you open Autodesk Inventor, we're going to press New, and we're going to go to Standard IPT. Next, press Start 2D Sketch. And as I said in my last video, we're going to always start off in the XY plane. So first we must start with the base. So in order to start the base is a rectangle. So we're going to press the rectangle function and create a rectangle. I'm going to create my length to be 5 inches and my width will be 3 inches. So if I press the front button on my little cube here, it will zoom out and show me my entire sketch. So I'm going to press Finish Sketch. I'm going to press my home button and it's going to zoom out again. So as you can see, I have created my 2D sketch. Now I must extrude this. I'm going to press the extrude function and I'm going to have it extruding forward. Now for how much it extrudes it by, you can change it to whatever you want, but for now I'm going to keep it at 1 inch. I'm going to press OK, and I now have my base. Although it is slanted in an unusual way, you can use this cube and maneuver around to help you understand that it is a base. So I press this button right here, which is the corner of the front and the bottom, and it now led me to this. So as you can see, it looks more as a base when I move my cube. So this is why the cube is very helpful. Now that I have my base, I'm going to create my wall on top. So in order to do that, I'm actually going to create a new sketch on my surface. There are 2 ways that you can create a new sketch on a certain surface. One, I can either press Start 2D Sketch, and I can click on that face. Once I click on that face, it will now bring me to the plane. If I didn't want to do that, however, if you didn't want to use that option, you can also double click on the face that you want to create a new sketch on, and a list of options will show up, and you will press New Sketch. This will also create a plane on the front. So as you can see, I'm now in sketch mode, and to create the base, I'm going to start off with a rectangle. So I'm going to place a rectangle at the corner, and I'm going to bring it out so that it touches the other side. It doesn't matter what width you use for this rectangle, but for now I'm going to set it at 0.8 inches. Now that I have my rectangle, I'm going to press Finish Sketch. As you can see, your new sketch is visible in your home screen. So when I press Extrude, it will automatically select that new rectangle that I created. And as you can see, it is extruding up, and I will keep it like that. However, I'm going to change how much it extrudes by to 2 inches. If you're not happy with 2 inches, you can add more, and let's say I can change this to 3 inches. And as you can see, as I type a new number, it increases the number, so it allows you to have a preview of how it's going to look like. Once I'm happy with my extrusion height, I'm going to click OK. Now that I have the basic structure of what I would like to create, I am now going to create the cuts that it had. So in order to create the first cut, I'm going to create a new sketch on this face. So I'm going to double click, I'm going to click New Sketch, and it will now create a plane. So I'm going to be using the rectangle function again. However, you can also use a line function and create a rectangle. But to use a rectangle function, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start at my x-axis. I'm going to place the point anywhere, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to bring it out. So I can change this to whatever dimensions I want. So I'm going to create a height of 1.5, and as you can see, it auto deselected from the rectangle, so I wasn't able to create my width. However, you can simply use the dimension tool, and you can click on that, and you can change this. So let's say I can change this to 1 inch, and I now have my cut. If I wanted to center my rectangle, I can use the dimension function again. So since I know that the total is 3 inches, currently it's not letting me place a dimension, but I know that this is 3 inches. So to place it in the middle, I want to have the same dimension for each point. So since this is 1 inch, that leaves me with 2 inches, and I want to place it in the middle, so there must be 1 inch on each side. So to do that, I'm going to click this point, this line, and this line, and I'm going to change this to 1 inch. I'm going to click this. I'm going to press 1 inch, and now change it to 1 inch. And to dimension the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, however, click on this line. I'm going to click this line, and it's already at 1 inch, since I already moved it. And you can place this dimension. Keep in mind that Autodesk Inventor doesn't let you over-constrain the sketch. So since I have already created a 1 inch dimension and another 1 inch dimension, it won't let you create a 3rd inch dimension. So you must be careful when dimensioning your object so that you don't over-constrain it and get this error. So I'm going to press cancel. And now that I have my cut ready, my rectangle ready, I'm going to press finish sketch again. Now that I have my rectangle ready, I'm going to press extrude again, and it's going to bring it up. However, since I want to cut into the object, I'm going to press flip. This way, as you can see, it's cutting through the object, leaving a hole in my base, which is what I want. So you can set it to any distance, but I'm going to stick with 3 inches because although it's not the exact height of the base, even if it's a higher number, it's still going to cut through the material fully, which is what I want. So I'm simply going to press OK. Now that I have my cut, I can now move on to the second cut. So the second cut is over here. So I'm going to create a new sketch on this face. So I'm going to double click. So I'm going to press Start 2D Sketch, and I'm going to click on this face. Again, it brings me to sketch mode, and you know you're in sketch mode when this axis shows up. So to make the other cut, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try and make it the same size as my previous cut. I'm going to click on 2-point rectangle, and I'm going to go ahead and place it, and I'm going to drop the first point anywhere on the line. So I drop my first point, and I'm going to bring it out. Previously, when making my first cut, I made the height 1.5 inches, so I'm going to do the same thing. And for my width, I'm going to do 1 inch, same as before. Now to center it, I'm going to go over the same steps. I'm going to press dimension, and I'm going to dimension this line and this line. And since currently, it's 0.76, I'm going to change this to 1 inch. It will now move my rectangle. And since it's already separating this by 1 inch, it's going to automatically separate that by 1 inch too, since it's perfectly measured and the whole thing is 3 inches. So just to make sure, I'm going to press this, and I'm going to press the other line, and I see that it's 1 inch. However, it won't let me place a dimension since, as I stated before, Inventor doesn't let you over constrain your sketch. So once I'm happy with my sketch, I'm going to press Finish Sketch. And I'm going to do the same step and extrude this rectangle. As you can see, it goes to the default setting, which is to extrude outward. However, as I stated before, I want to cut into the material. So I'm going to flip it, and as you can see, it will cut through the material. And again, I'm going to go with 3 inches. But you can also change this to 2 inches, and it will still cut through. It's okay if you choose a dimension that's bigger than your dimension for the width of the original base because you simply want to cut through the material. So I'm going to press OK, and there is your final product. So I hope this video was very informative on how to create this product, and I hope it helped you learning how to use Inventor. So in my next video, I will be going over more functions such as the text function. So I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.